Check. Mic check 1, 2. Teezy for the people. We live in the building, man. Before we get into it, man, I gotta get his brother his flowers, man. If you was riding in the car in the early 2000s and you had you a CD player and you had to go to the flea market to go get any one of these CDs, man, you had to hear this name, you had to hear this man's tag, you had to hear this man's best ofs, like. Straight up, when it comes to the Mount Rushmore of mixtape DJs, this man's face is as big as one of the presidents on the Mount Rushmore of mixtape DJs. Please, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the one, the only DJ Trap-a-holics.
Man, Teezy, thank you for having me.
Hey,
that's the first. I ain't never heard that one before.
Oh, that's hard.
And I appreciate that.
Hey, listen, Trap, I ain't even gonna cap him down. Like, we did something like this shit yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And you know, we had a good conversation yesterday.
We did.
You know, but some technical difficulties happened, and then, you know what I'm saying, like, we back at having a great conversation today, I feel like.
Listen, you said, man, it didn't work the first time, audio issues, whatever the case is.
Right.
We're running it back 24 hours later.
That's
Here
how we do it.
That's how we rocking. That's how we rocking.
So, for the fans out there, you know what I'm saying, the day ones and stuff like that, like, let's talk about, like, you know what I'm saying, like, the origin story. Let's talk about, like, you know, what made you just first start wanting to be a DJ?
Absolutely. So originally, I never even really sought out to be a DJ. You know what I'm saying? So what it was is, of course, everybody's familiar with livemixtapes.com.
Right.
You know, shout out to Live Mixtapes.
Shout out to Live.
Back in 07, 08-ish or whatnot, right. I was actually going back and forth with my mother to her appointments. And there was a lot of downtime. So while I had the downtime, I was just always listening to music and kind of just thinking of different ways I could kind of create basically like my own personal mixtape, you know? Like my first couple tapes that I wanted to do them just for myself. Right. Like when I ride down or with the homies, we're in the car, whatever the case.
You remember your first tape?
I think the very first like compilation that I put together, it was like a Boosie tape.
That's hard.
And my name wasn't even on the tape or whatnot.
Right.
It had the old Saints logo on there or whatnot.
Yeah.
That was the first tape. But yeah, man, when I just wanted to make tapes just so that I could rock out to personally or whatnot.
Right.
So I felt like there was like a little small, like at the time there was a lot of different compilation mixtapes and stuff. I wanted to do like a best of almost, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of those artists they were dropping so much hard shit at the time. Right. I was like, man, imagine a mixtape with just all of these different joints lined up from this different artist that he's dropped over the course of these last couple months or whatever over the year was or whatnot. So a lot of my first mixtapes were actually like best ofs almost in a sense. And one of them was the Lil Boosie joint.
That's hard.
So yeah, man, like I just sought out, man, I'm a big fan. I'm from the Bronx, New York, man. I'm a hip hop. I'm a hip hop. Man, I'm a hip hop fan. It's in my blood. You know what I'm saying? It's in my blood.
Who was your early like inspiration?
Oh my God, like Big Pun, R.I.P.
That's
you know,
hard.
it's like one of my favorite, of course. Fat Joe, of course, you know. Bronx legend. Big L.
Big shout out to Big L.
Come on, man.
Like probably one of the most, like, you know what I'm saying, like rappers where we got all the lingo from before, you know what I'm saying, lingo was even like a thing.
I mean, man, I could go down the line. Mobb Deep.
That's hard.
Capone and Nori.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang, of course. Come on, man. Like that, you know, like that, you know, that second album, that double disc that they did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that shit really like kind of just changed my life as far as like how I heard hip hop and kind of like looked at it like, wow, this is like really bigger than just some, you know, a genre coming out of the Bronx, New York. Like this is something major now. When you're seeing like the different folks and whatnot jumping to that Wu-Tang, man, like you just see all different races, all different genres like taking it. They was going to Japan or whatnot. You saw like the folks out there in Japan like passing out and shit over you never really seen that with like a hip hop artist. You know what I'm saying? They kind of like made you look at hip hop a little different. Like, man, this shit could actually do something. You know what I'm saying? Could be something big, you know? Yeah.
What do you feel like? Well, I mean, not what do you feel like. So what was like your first big break? You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you ain't start off legendary. Everybody got to start somewhere.
Nah, for sure. I don't even know if it was necessarily one thing. I think it was just like the come up in itself, like the streak that I had. You know, of course,
like a collective, basically.
A collective basis.
Yeah, like
and of course, let's be real. Everybody knows that run was the Brick Squad run. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out, most definitely.
Did a handful of Gucci tapes. At the time, Gucci was the hottest on the planet.
Man, listen.
He was the hottest on.
As soon as you heard that Trap-a-holics mixtapes,
man, but and that came like after the sense. But leading up into that, he was dropping some classic, classic projects, man.
That's a fact.
So I remember doing some of those, and then of course I get a phone call. Waka, of course, hits me.
Shout out to Flop.
Hey Trap, man, you know, hey Trap, man, that joint you did with Gucci crazy. You know, I got some songs now.
Right.
I just remember him sending me like the first handful of songs that he sent me was Dredslin Goes on From Down South. Dredslin Goes on From Down South. Yeah. That joint I just remember vividly sticking out. And then it was crazy. Like one of the very next songs that he gave me was Oh Let's Do It, which was pretty crazy to think like one of his biggest songs was made fairly early, like in his career. And we released that Salute Me or Shoot Me Part 1.
Right.
Hosted by myself, DJ Ace. Shout out to the South Top Dog, man, DJ Ace, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't talk on my taste. We need an Ace for that flavor. Right. Pop that shit.
Right, nah,
you know what I'm saying? And he brought that energy to the tape.
Shout out to Ace.
So between the Gucci, the Waka, and then there was just so many artists over there at Brick Squad, R.I.P. Slim Duncan, you know what I'm saying?
R.I.P.
Man, we had Derez, a.k.a. Devo. Man, you ended up on my tapes. Come on, man. It's LeBron Flocka James, Civil War, you know?
Civil War.
So you guys actually helped contribute, man. Sorry the Kid, of course. You know what I'm saying? He was dropping. But I think just my whole little movement, Frenchie of two, of course. You know what I'm saying? The homie Frenchie. There's a lot of artists that I'm missing, that I'm leaving out, man. That's why I hate naming names, but it's like this is just what's coming off the top of my head.
Since you naming names, who was your favorite artist like to really be in the studio with?
Oh, no question, for sure, Waka.
Flop.
Yeah, because he just brought that energy. It was just the energy, and just like, you know, like just when we started linking up, it was just like we knew each other forever, and just it was just like that type of vibe, just that energy. You know what I'm saying? We kind of like vibed off of one another, and then of course we had Southside right there. You know, one of the best producers ever, sitting there making beats right there.
Right.
You know, it was going from Southside on the beats, literally to Waka's hands into the studio, like. Man, you know, so I really feel like collectively just that whole little run, which also opened up the doors to other projects. Right. Nicki Minaj, Beat Me Up, Scotty.
So we can so
forth and so forth.
Can we say that was like, you know what I'm saying, like maybe a part of the big break?
Absolutely, part of the big break.
It was like a part, let's just say the founding story.
Like founding story.
Right,
you know?
right.
Yeah, you know like I said, then that opened up the door for more bigger projects like the Nicki Minaj joint.
Right, which is hard.
Juicy J, Rubber Band Business 1 and 2.
Hard.
You know, and then just so many other joints, street classics, Streets on Lock with Migos, and just, man, Rich the Kid, just all the up-and-coming kids, Doughboy, who's out there right now doing their thing, you know, like these couple names that I've gave you. When I was working with them, they were young, you know. Doughboy was really young.
Correct.
Metro Boomin was very young when we did 19 and Boomin', like, you know what I'm saying? So the Brick Squad run did open up the doors to more avenues and a lot of more bigger tapes and whatnot. But it was no question, hands down, of course, everybody knows the Trap-a-holics and that Brick Squad run for sure.
Yeah, speaking of Nicki Minaj, how was it, like, did you, first of all, two questions. One, how was it working with Nicki, you know what I'm saying, just like collaborating with her, one. And then two, at that time, because you said that they was young, you feel me, did you know that Nicki was going to be, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, like, Nicki? Yeah, Nicki Minaj, that's different.
Now?
I'm from New York. I was already familiar with Nicki. She was doing like the come-up DVDs.
I remember that.
With Fendi and whatnot. And
I remember that.
You know what I'm saying? I was already familiar with her. So then what happened was she ended up being managed by Miss Deb.
Right,
you know
shout out to Miss Deb.
Shout out to Miss Deb, Miss A-E-N-T. You know, Miss Deb had her, French Montana also, and then, you know, the Brick Squad roster.
Right.
I just remember Miss Deb calling me one day and said, hey, you know, I really would like you to get down on this Nicki Minaj project that we're about to release, you and DJ Holiday. Like, I want that vibe on it, like that, like that mixtape vibe. And then they sent me the records and whatnot. Obviously, I loved it. That Itty Bitty, you know, there was a lot of bangers on there. You know what I'm saying? That Itty Bitty was huge. So, you know, I sent Holiday my tags and whatnot. We started mixing some tracks back and forth. And then I just didn't think, I knew how big that tape was going to be.
Sheesh.
She was huge already, but after that tape, it was like, monumental, like,
right, because she's a mega
like
star.
megastar,
She's a mega star.
megastar stardom after that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it was an awesome project. Still to this day, probably. I mean, damn, it's got to be top 3 for sure.
Nah, facts. I feel like that's the game. That's what the game like really missing, like solid projects. You know what I'm saying? Like the mixtape culture. I know we spoke on it. You know, let's just speak a little bit on the mixtape culture. You get what I'm saying? Like, you dropped Himothy with Quavo. You know what I'm saying? Y'all did it. Y'all just did it last year collab. That was hard. Yeah, very hard.
I like and man, I'm happy that you brought that up because that's one of my favorite songs like that I did last year. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard.
And man, that simply just came.
I feel like I feel like that gives the mixtape vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like that song, the whole drops. Like I feel like, oh yeah, I'm back in like early 2000s. Like let's go.
We previously spoke about like the DSPs and the streaming services, Apple, Spotify, and all that changed the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's be real. All the big artists that was running those mixtapes on live mixtapes and all these other websites and so forth, they switched right up to the DSPs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, hey, I've never stopped doing mixtapes. Still to this day, that I'm doing mixtapes all the time. But there was like a gap to where like the mixtape game definitely changed.
Right.
But you have artists like Quavo, artists like Waka, artists like Juicy J. You know what I'm saying? Big names that are still like, listen, we got to bring this mixtape thing back.
Right.
You know, so
it's a vibe. It's that vibe,
man.
It's
you know, I mean, Quavo hit me up, was like, Trap, literally, he was like, Trap, we're gonna bring this mixtape shit back. Right. And we're gonna start with this one joint right here.
That's all.
Himothy. And I said, hey, I respect that because he could have reached out to any DJ for that. But he reached out to me, man, and it was a banger. We got such good responses, good feedback. Just saying that, like, man, it's just, it just brings back that old mixtape vibe, man.
That's hard.
And me as a mixtape DJ, of course, I'm biased, but I feel like that's what the game's been missing for these last handful of years since they switched over to these damn DSPs.
Nah, right. I mean, because listen, you like, you know what I'm saying? You got albums, like albums is great, you know what I'm saying? And like, like we used to like, back when albums was like CDs, you used to go to the stores.
Oh, man.
Buy the albums, you used to go to record stores and buy the albums. But it's like, like when mixtapes actually came into play and like you just felt that grittiness, you know what I'm saying? You just felt like this is where artists should be before we get to the album. So let's not skip this part.
Well, you know what? I feel like if you went and go do like a survey, you go take 100 fans, your casual fans who's familiar with the albums, of course, and the mixtape game.
Right.
I feel like 90%, 90 out of 100 is going to be like, hey, the mixtapes be harder than the albums. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's so many times that people tell me, man, this album from this artist, this is dope. But this tape that y'all did, it's crazy. Like, it's just something about just that mixtape, the little runbacks, the DJ drops, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
The artist popping some shit. Hey, Trap, run that shit back. It gives like more of that personal vibe, you know what I'm saying? Almost like you're along for the ride when you're hearing these songs, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's kind of what I kind of aimed for, especially being a mixtape DJ, to where I don't speak on my songs, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, if I'm gonna do a tape with an artist, let him pop some shit on there. Let him be the one. Hey, Trap, run that shit back. I can't shout out your hood more better than you can. You shout out your hood. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I see it, you know?
Right,
that's just the way I look at it. And I feel like you don't have to have the talking and all of that on every single tape like that. I just felt like sometimes at some point it could get repetitive almost in a sense.
Right.
In a sense, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's warranted and needed for the right artist with the right DJ. You know what I'm saying? But at a point in time, there was just a lot of DJs talking over a lot of mixtapes and whatnot. And I don't know, I just kind of stayed away from that and vowed, hey, between my drops and my mixes, it speaks for itself.
Right. Let's speak about the drops. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You have like, if not one of the most classic tags or recognizable drops.
Thanks, McLovin.
And we got to be politically correct. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks, McLovin. Appreciate that.
So it's like, all right, listen, like, so look, like because we had to break this down off camera. Like, really, like, it's crazy that you really built a whole brand just off of drops. Like you just said, like, you didn't have to like really talk on records, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though like that was like for other DJs, you know what I'm saying? But you came in with these drops, the damn son, where you get that from? And like you made a whole you made a whole wave off of that. I don't think people like y'all gotta break that. Y'all gotta really sit down and break that down like later.
Listen, man, I'm gonna be real with you. You know why I installed that drop in people's heads so much? It's because at the time, like, I was receiving music probably that I wasn't supposed to have. You know what I'm saying? This is the mixtape game.
Right.
At the end of the day, that's how some of us mixtape DJs got our name.
Right.
Hey, you know what? If you see Trap-a-holics' name on there, he's gonna have exclusives on there.
Right.
It's gonna be shit you ain't never heard before.
Right.
Like, hey, that's what's gonna draw the people in. You know what I'm saying? But to decipher myself from everybody else is like, I got to put something on here that's going to signature my brand and my name. If they hear this tag, you already know that's Trap-a-holics, and especially on some songs that I was the only one with.
Right.
So if I dropped the tape and I just didn't put no drops on it, I mean, bro, the mixtape game, there was a certain handful of DJs who was really, really putting it down. But at the end of the day, this thing was like a marathon race. There's like 60 racers, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You see people from the front all the way to the back. You know what I'm saying? There's mixtape DJs from the front all the way to the back that's sitting there ready to, pounce on this new music.
Right.
So I felt like it was kind of up to me to be like, you know what? I can't let y'all steal this. The only way I'm not going to let y'all steal this is you're going to hear Damn Son, Where'd You Find This? Probably 5 times on this song.
Man,
it almost got crazy. Like, damn, Chop, stop. Relax a little bit.
Right.
But you know what, man? That was just like my aura, man, and my origin of letting people know, like, hey, nobody got this. This is exclusive right here.
Right, that's hard.
You know what I'm saying?
That's hard.
And I feel like that's really kind of like what installed that Damn Son, Where'd You Find This into so many people's heads, man.
Speaking of the drops, right, man, listen, I can most definitely see a residency, you know what I'm saying, Trap-a-holic, speaking into an existence, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And Vegas residency, just the Trap-a-holics drops and all the hits on the mixtapes.
It's been brought up. It's been spoken of.
I know it has.
It's been an idea.
I know it has a million times, bro.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I live in Vegas. Vegas is weird with the hip-hop shit, you know?
Right.
It's weird.
It's a little different. What is
political
what is the culture in Vegas like?
I mean, just...
Is there hip hop in Vegas?
It's like Dre's. It's probably the biggest joint out there. It's like one or two main joints. But, for the most part, it's a lot of people coming from out of town. Right. They want to go to those really big clubs with like the EDM DJs and stuff like that. And, I don't know. Vegas gets a little bit wild. I live there, and I don't even leave. I don't go north or South Point.
Hey, listen, let's lighten it up a little bit, man. What happens in Vegas stays.
Yeah,
what
happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, man.
What's the craziest thing that you've seen in Vegas?
The craziest thing that I've seen in Vegas? Damn. I'm trying to think. You know what? Probably nothing crazy, but just like shit, like the partying is hard over there. Sometimes you walk out, it's daytime and shit. So I don't know if it's anything crazy. It's just, in Vegas, when you're really leaving the club and about to go home in most cities, you're just stepping out in Vegas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people just really stepping out 3, 4 a.m. in Vegas. That's when you're coming home in some of these other places.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's when it just like get live in Vegas.
Yeah, absolutely. But Vegas is familiar with the whole damn son. They know what's up. We'll work on a residency. I'm gonna make that happen just for you, Teezy.
Hey, bro, listen, we pulling up. Yeah. Nah, for sure.
Nah, but as far as like the damn son, where'd you find this, man? I'm gonna be honest with you. Also, the McLovin skit. I did a skit with McLovin.
That's hard.
Many years ago for World Star. At the time, World Star actually was thinking about like kind of making like a comedy section. I think they were trying to do.
Right.
And the very first skit was the joint that I did with McLovin.
That's hard.
And I think it's like probably like at 8 million views just on World Star alone. Then it hit like YouTube and all of this other platforms and whatnot. But like over the course of the years, as time goes, like that interview, or not even that skit, it just gets like more legendary and more legendary because people think actually McLovin is the one who did my drops, which is it's hilarious. I mean, they really, you'd be astonished at how many people actually think he's the person who did it. Right. That's how good the skit went. Like, he's like, hold on. He's like, hold on, damn, son. And like, you got to watch it. It's crazy.
Right, that's hard.
It's pretty dope. So that helped out. I'm not going to lie, that helped out a lot too, kind of with the mystique and like just, next thing I know, like I heard the damn song, Where'd You Find This on RIP on XXX Extension's joint. I was like, damn, what the hell? Like, this shit kind of going crazy.
It went a long way.
Yeah, it went a long way. It went a long way. And that damn song, Where'd You Find This, definitely is at the top of the list. But we got real trap shit, Trap-a-holics, bitch. You know, there's a line of it.
Right.
There's a list.
It's right. I was about to say
it's a list.
You got like 5 in rotation. Like you got like 6 classics, 5 in rotation, 3 Grammys. Like
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times people actually say when they come for a host and they actually say, "Man, I need that damn song. Where'd you find this?" And it's like,
right.
That comes without being said.
Right.
If you don't have a damn song, where'd you find this? And I do a hosting for you, it didn't come from my hands.
There you go. There's an artist. Don't be in the DM asking him. You know what I'm saying? He's already telling you.
Come on,
right
that
now,
goes without being said. Listen, man, that we already know that's what everybody wants. You're gonna get that damn song. Where'd you find this when you come for that hosting over here?
That's hard. So listen, let's go from the tags, right? So we went from the mixtape culture. Now we went from the classic tags. Now let's go straight to like, you know what I'm saying, the process of a project. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because we give the artist gives the DJ, you know what I'm saying, the project, right? And you as the DJ do what then?
So this is what I do. Trap-a-holics. This is how I've always gone by doing my tapes. Because I remember, like, when I first started, I thought of that, like, damn, how do I lay this shit out? You know what I'm saying? Right. And I say, you know what? Just sit calm and relax. And I just pull it up on my screen. First thing I'm going to do is ask the artist to give me all of the music on that's going to go on the tape.
Right.
Or what you want me to pick from, what you want me to choose from. The second thing I'll probably ask him is there anything that has to go on here?
Right.
Something that you just can't resist that automatically has to go on here.
Right.
Whether it's an introduction song, I mean, I don't know. If you came home from jail, first day out, that has to be on there. Whatever the question is, I'll take the musts on there. And then what I'll do is I'll literally listen to every single song a handful of times, kind of get a vibe for it, and just start to lay out the songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want the tape to hit. Like, when you hear that Trap-a-holics mixtapes, boom, 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 boom. After that fourth bomb drop, listen, Teezy, that first joint got to slap.
Right.
If that first joint don't slap, it ain't gonna work.
Right.
It's not gonna work. You feel me? So, like, I gotta make sure the beginning of that tape is knocking. So I really try to pick like the best joint just from my own ears that I feel like is gonna make the tape knock. And I'll never forget this. Here's a funny story. So we was doing the Salute Me or Shoot Me Part 2. Me, Waka, and Ace.
Hard.
Waka sends me all the music or whatnot. I start to lay the tape out. He was popping some shit, introducing the tape or whatnot. I started the tape. I go hard in the motherfucking paint. That's what I started the tape with.
Yeah.
I remember Waka hitting me like, Trap, why you start the tape with that? I'll never forget. I was like, what you mean? He's like, man, I want you to start the tape with this song. Like, I said, bro, what? We got to start the tape off with this. Like, this Hard in the Paint is going to set the whole entire tone. Like, I remember telling him that. I remember like a couple days later.
That song's so classic.
Look, Teezy, I remember like a week later, he hits me back. What up, Trap? What up? Man, I swear I'll never ever tell you how to lay out a tape again, man. I said, what you mean? He said, bro, you did like that, putting it like that layout and laying it out like that was amazing, bro. He was like, yeah, I didn't know how, like at first I didn't like it, but after I heard the tape and it settled in and whatnot, he was like, nah, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So I'll never forget that story. And I just remember like Hard in the Paint is like, come on, what? It was just another ordinary song that he had sent, like that was in the group. It wasn't he never said, hey, this is the next joint that we're going to run. It was just one in a folder of 20, 30 songs. You know what I'm saying? I vividly remember that shit sticking out. I'm like, oh, nah, we running this shit. At the top of the joint.
So it's basically just like a feeling that you get.
It's a feeling, man.
You know what I'm saying? And like, listen, you basically painting the picture.
I got to keep your attention, man.
Right.
Like, as you guys, as a listener, like, man, if you guys can't get through the first song, it's not going to work.
Did you ever hear somebody music and you was like, yo, like I just hear the whole, like I hear the whole vision, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can feel literally where they're at. Like if they was like in the gutter at one time, you know what I'm saying, in a hard place in life.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You just felt that
feeling. I mean, man, shout out to my boy Yada out in Vegas, man. So, like the way I could just picture his music. He's one artist. Like he's just really prolific with it, man. really, really like man, he's fire.
Because like Nipsey had that. Though.
Nipsey had that too.
Nipsey had that. You feel me? Like
not comparing or whatnot, but like Yada's from the West Coast. They almost had like that same style and
right,
whatnot.
Right.
Yada was like, you know, he's street guy, man. So like he would paint like vivid stories.
But a lot of artists had that. Like Gucci had that.
Gucci had it.
When Gucci dropped, like you know what I'm saying? Yeah, when Jeezy dropped Trap-a-holics, everybody thought they was a hustler.
Yeah, it came even all the way trickling down to like the up and coming artists. Like, man, shout out to my boy Cartel MGM. He was going on a crazy run. He had over like 10 tapes.
Right.
When I was hearing his shit,
right,
I felt like I was trapping with him.
That's a fact.
Turn this shit up. Hold on, man.
Right.
Man, this shit feel like I'm over here trapping. Like, you could just like feel like the music and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Still to this day, Bloody J, another artist. All right,
shout out to Bloody.
Man, Free Bloody. He's coming home really soon.
Right, Free Bloody.
You know, Free Bloody. Why Fanlucci? He home now. Bloody's on the way, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's hard.
Yeah, R.I.P. Slim, man. That's the homie. Man, Jay's another one. When you hear his music, you can feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And with Jay, it's different because he got that pain in his music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Cartel, I felt like I was trapping with him. Jay, you just feel that pain. You know what I'm saying? It comes out and it spills on his music. And even like Walker, you hear his joints, it's like, my goodness, like the energy. It's like, come on.
I fuck my money up.
Come on, man. And not just
now I can't read up.
Come on,
right up
bro.
in spot. You know what I'm saying?
When that shit dropped, it was like, oh, I was like, we on to something. I was like, we on to something.
If you break them lyrics down, though, that's too real, though. You know what I'm saying? He said, he automatically took some accountability for himself and said, I fucked my money up. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Now I can't re-up. He found a solution. I ran up in his spot.
Man, just to get, man,
yeah. That's hard.
Legendary
hard.
Shit, man.
You know what I mean?
I feel like he had, like, some of his biggest songs was literally, like, released in increments on our tapes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, let's do it, salute me or shoot me one. Hard in the paint, salute me or shoot me two.
Do you feel like the game is missing, like, you know what I'm saying, like that artist and DJ collaboration?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I definitely do. But there's still some artists out there who stay true to the game. It's still like Future and Esco.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Every time they see, you know, of course, Walker's name, they're kind of synonymous with me. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. That's another one. Like I feel like
that.
I feel like y'all most definitely, you know,
bigger ranking Lucci. You know what I'm saying? You hear that Lucci intros, that big on there, you know what I'm saying? I kind of do feel like the game is missing that. And I don't know why we don't have more of that, because especially now, like with the DSPs, everybody can eat. Producers, you know,
right.
all the way down to the engineers. It's enough room and space for everybody. So I feel like DJs and artists should do a lot more collabs, man. I'm gonna try to bring that back a little bit, you know.
I mean, because you know what I'm saying, like the DJ is very important. I mean, I remember in Atlanta, you know, not too long ago, you know what I'm saying, like it was this whole thing, like the DJ and artist versus artist thing, you know what I'm saying. I wanted to stay out of it, you know what I'm saying, but because, you know, we all need each other, you feel me? But the question is, like, do you feel like the DJ should get like a percentage of the record because the DJ helps like break the record?
Here's what I think. If the DJ's actually on the project the same way a producer is, then yeah, for sure. Right. That's what I think, because why not? I mean, if the DJ's on it, of course, he's got to be recognized in some way. If not, just don't put the DJ on it.
I mean, because
it's
a lot of artists, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, they go mess with the DJs, you know what I'm saying? And then that's the first person that they go mess with. And then the song blows up. And then when the song blows up, they be like, well, you know what?
Listen,
it ain't about the DJ.
Nah, the DJ's a big part of it, for sure.
Me?
I can't tell you how many times people tell me, yo, Trap, you put me onto this artist. I never even knew about this artist.
So let's clarify. So even with streaming today,
of course,
the DJ is still a part of the plan.
Even with DSPs today, and a lot of artists are releasing mixtape DJs on the DSPs now.
Right.
I just every now and then I'll just type my name in to see what comes up on like Spotify and Apple Music and all of that, and like little by little, like, shit is getting added. I just seen like the Gucci Wilt Chamberlains the other day. With the drops in them and all of that.
That's hard.
I was riding around listening to like, oh man, that Ice on Me, like classic mixtape cuts, bro. Like with the DJ tags in on there. And that, I think like, man, DSPs need that, you know? Because also what an artist will do is they'll go do a DJ version, go release it on the free sites, live mixtapes, et cetera, turn around and put a no DJ version on DSP.
Right.
And it's like, I get it, but it's like, why
down.
not just put the DM?
Right.
Just put the whole shit on DSP, man.
Right,
Let it rock out.
Because that's a story. You know? It's a story.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't know if it's like artists who's like just hesitant because they don't know what the DJ's thinking or whatnot, but man, I'm a phone call away. I got, hey, Trap, what we got to do to put this on there?
Right.
We're gonna make it happen.
Nah, that's a fact.
It's easy, simple.
Like, cause you can't take the narrator out the story.
You can't take the narrator out the book, right?
Right.
Come on, no, absolutely not, man. No, DJs. I want to start seeing a lot more mixtapes on the DSPs, whether they're old classics or any mixtape DJs that's still out there doing these hostings. From like, they got to put all of these new projects on these DSPs. I'm working on a bunch of new projects right now. Matter of fact, I got a new joint with Tay Savage about to hit DSPs.
That's hard.
Mixtape, like all mixtape, like the mixtape shit.
That's hard.
Matter of fact, Trap Lord Ross is actually narrating it with
That's
me.
hard.
Yeah.
That's hard.
And you know what? It brought like a dope-ass mixtape vibe back. That's
hard.
What the game is missing, bro.
The game is missing the mixtape vibe. We gonna beat it in y'all heads.
Look out for that tape, man. Tay Savage, man. No Emotions from a King. Hosted by yours truly, Trap-a-holics. Narrated by Trap Lord Ross. And that was just an idea that I had, and I reached out to Ross, and he was like, I would love to be a part of it, because they actually had some skits that they did already.
Right.
So I said, let's just keep building on what y'all already got going, and I put it together, bro, and I swear, like a puzzle, it came together crazy, bro, and
That's hard.
It sounds awesome.
That's hard.
I feel like the game is missing just, you know what I'm saying, just that mixtape feel, man, in all. Overall. You know, I mean, man, you're big time familiar with Scream. Like, Scream was dropping tapes like sometimes 2-3 tapes a week, right?
That's my brother, man.
And then it's like, even ask him, he'll tell you how it's different now and it's slowed down now.
Right.
Bro, at one point 10 years ago, you'll have 3 Scream, 3 Trap-a-holics, 2 bigger rank all in 1 week.
Yeah, I already know.
In a week.
I already know.
You know, don't you miss that?
I miss what? I most definitely miss it.
Come on, Teezy. I miss the shit out of that. And you know what? To me, when I started building relationships with a lot of these DJs, it was friendly competition to me at that point. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I gotta go beat Big Bro now to the next exclusive and shit like that. And it was just like, I always looked at it as friendly competition, you know what I'm saying? Because I looked up to those names,
I mean, and
DJ Scream.
And then you guys also, like, compliment each other, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, you know, Scream comes in with that voice, you know what I'm saying? Like, the voice of the streets.
And then just the Hoodrich tag is just so legendary.
And then Holiday come with that holiday season.
Absolutely. Shout out to my bro Holiday.
Like, feel like you're really getting that season. And then, of course, like, Trap, I always liked yours because it was like most definitely like...
It was different.
It was different. It was like, it felt like a movie. You know what I'm saying? When I heard that, it felt dark and I liked it. You know
and it's funny because the voice, it's not like a hip hop head voice.
Right.
I feel like that adds also like another layer to it.
Right, that's hard.
It's like a voice that you hear that you probably wouldn't expect.
Right.
Listening to this music, and then you hear that voice, damn, son, where'd you find this? It's like, oh shit. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
Right, like the DJ...
ties it all in.
Right, the DJ and the tag is like co-hand with each other too.
Yeah, you know absolutely. Yeah, no, for sure.
That's hard.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about life, man. You know what I'm saying? A few current events. Like, you travel a lot. You travel a lot, right? You're traveling right now.
I am.
I
shouldn't be. I needed my ass.
You went from LA. I keep saying this.
I need to be home, but
you went from LA to Atlanta. You about to go out to New York Fashion Week. You know what I'm saying?
South by
Southwest in Texas. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? Planes is crashing down. What are your thoughts?
I'm fucking scared. No.
Bro, you're on the plane.
It's funny. I was just talking to my homegirl. She just told me, you flying again? Like, look, she just sent me some other shit. I said, listen, don't send me that shit because I fly too much for this, but I mean, listen,
like, planes need parachutes nowadays. Like not like a whole plane full of like a plane parachute.
Yeah, here's my thing. I can't let something like that stop me from doing what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got shit to do, man. I got fucking Teezy for the People interviews to knock out.
Right.
I got studio sessions to knock out. Shows to DJ, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, is a plane your go-to? Like, would you drive? Like,
well, I live in Vegas, so I'm not driving across.
You ain't driving
not for a show. I'm sorry.
Not in that desert.
I'm sorry.
No, sir.
And here's another thing. You said, let's talk about life. So besides music, I got other stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? I got a eBay store that's doing very well right now. You know,
I was about to say businesses outside of music. You know what I'm
businesses
saying? It's
outside of
always
music.
good to have a business outside of music, multiple businesses, multiple streams of income. As an entrepreneur, what is your business?
Man, actually, me and my buddy, well, a good friend of mine, I'm actually help managing a very successful eBay store that's
hard.
growing very, very fast.
What made you want to do an eBay store?
You know what? So I'm a big wrestling fan.
Right.
I collect wrestling cards also.
hard.
You know what I'm saying? As weird as that sounds.
That's dope.
Sometimes that's my outlet.
I was gonna ask you that though.
Listen,
like, what's like something that's just like you just like to do?
That's
like, you
my
know what I'm
outlet.
saying?
Cards
like,
and shit,
hard.
and like collecting cards and stuff.
Collecting
I've gotten
cards.
deep into that like the last 3 years. Yeah, man. Like I love music. Music is my life. I will do music forever, but I can't let it consume me and eat me alive.
Right.
If music can eat you alive, as crazy as that sounds,
life,
if you let it.
Right. But then like life is inspiration to music. You know what I'm saying?
Is.
Like if you're like a creative or a musician or something like that, like you use that life to generate what that feeling in that music is, because music is feeling.
Absolutely.
So,
and music, it goes hand in hand with everything, because even when like sometimes I'll do some streaming and shit like that, they're always asking to listen to new music or whatnot, and I'll play some music or whatnot. But I think sometimes, like back to my point to where I try not to let like the music consume me. Like I can literally be on the phone all day with artists, you know what I'm saying?
That is draining.
It's draining. And let's just be honest, we're in the hip hop game. The hip hop artists aren't the most, I don't even know, like aren't the most courtesy thinking.
Bruh,
sometimes they think you owe them shit.
Bruh, fuck that.
It's a lot to deal with.
Anybody being on the phone. Like if you got 1,000 things that you already thinking about during the day, like being on the phone all day long, and then you have to be because you have to make certain things like
now add a rapper on top of it.
Right.
Up and comer.
Right.
Who thinks he's the next up.
Oh, Lord.
Who thinks he has the hit already in his phone and wants to send you the music.
Right.
And so forth and so forth.
Tell you his story.
He want to tell you his story. It can get draining, man. And I'm the type to where, like, you know, like I speak to a lot of these artists, man. There's a lot of artists that I speak to that I don't even end up working with. You know what I'm saying? Because if they inquire enough, a lot of the times we end up on the phone. Now, whether they follow through or whatnot, I manage myself. So it's like, you know, I got to answer these inquiries or whatnot.
I think most definitely hip hop, like just in general, like newer artists need more artist development, you know what I'm saying? And within, you know what I'm saying, within that artist development, I feel like, you know, like everybody needs therapy.
Absolutely. My therapy is wrestling cards, man. As crazy as that sounds.
That is your therapy?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Going just buying new cards and pulling autographs, and it's a whole nother world. It's cool to me.
What type of cards do you actually collect?
Like wrestling.
Just wrestling.
Just wrestling. In some sports. Here's the thing: the eBay store that I'm telling you that I'm running and whatnot, managing. We sell everything high end. We got Jordans and all that crazy stuff. High end Pokemon.
Where do you find all that?
So listen, this is just like the sneaker game. It's a new release dropping every month.
That's crazy.
Yeah, for real. You just got to get in tune.
But the older the card is, the more rare though, right?
Kind of, for the most part. It's kind of like it's kind of like cars. The older the car, it depends on what brand it is, right?
Like Topps.
Topps is good. So for instance, Topps just picked up a brand new account with WWE, of course, the big wrestling. Panini, that was another group. They did like a many year contract with them. That contract ran out, so now Topps picked back up because they're owned by Fanatics. So it's funny that you bring Topps up because, yes, they just released for the first time in years a brand new product last week that I ended up buying, which is funny because I ended up buying in and, you know, selling some shit here and there. And like, bro, the world for that is just like sneakers and shit like that. Like, it's a big craze for that. People pay big money for these cards. You get them 2 days early. They pay premium and so forth and so forth. It's crazy. It's a whole nother world that I've gotten into. So, you know, so like, when I moved to Vegas, I found myself having a lot of extra time in my hand, because like that's where all my work is getting done and everything like that. After I would get my music done, I still had a lot of time in my hand. It's like, damn, I mean, I'm running my music shit right, you know, as far to the door as I can go. I got time to do other shit. And then just like something that you like genuinely like collecting cards literally started out as a hobby, and then now is actually a business. And that just goes, once again, my music started out as basically a hobby, turned into a business. You know, I really think that's like, man, like
it goes
hand in hand, man. And whether it's cards, trading cards, music, whatever the case is, I feel like if you really truly have a passion for it, you can actually create a life for yourself doing that,
Right.
no matter what it is.
Right.
No matter what it is.
I started to do things like, you know what I'm saying, like that just made me happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like as far as like, but it also coincides with like just different things that I also wanted to do, because I was like, shoot, I want to work out, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, I do not want to be in the gym. I'm not the gym guy. Like I'm like, that's not me.
Same.
I'm not the gym guy. But I do want to work out and I do want to be healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so I found like different things, you know what I'm saying, that I liked, you know, that I liked and I learned to love. Like I love bike riding.
Awesome.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's exercise.
Right. So I do like 15, 20 miles.
Wow. Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like a set.
That's
you know what I'm
crazy.
saying? 60 miles a week.
Bro, that's, you know, I'm almost sure that's just as effective as going to pump iron for a half hour or
Keeps
whatever
the blood
case.
flowing.
Absolutely.
So it's like, but all that, like, you know, sparks my creativity.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to like just music, like I'll be looking for like vibes. You know what I'm saying? So like I create a vibe somewhere else, and then I try to put that vibe in the feeling of the music.
Yeah, here's the thing. So for me, like, I found like I have two different things that are completely opposite that consume my life, right? The eBay and the cards and all of that, and my music.
Right.
So it's like when I'm away from my music too long, I miss my cards. It's like I'm ready to go back home and pump some cards and make some money off these cards.
Right.
And then when it's like a slow couple weeks on my music, and then I'm like knee deep into the eBay store, this, that, and the third.
Right.
I miss my music. It's like, fuck, let me go pull out, what's my latest mixtape? Let me go work on that. Let me go listen to the new joint we just did.
Right.
And I feel like that kind of, it keeps me grounded, you know? Because at one point for a very long time, the music shit was all my life. And like, it almost got to a point to where I became like, damn, I don't even know the word, to the point to where it was like too much. Like, I don't even want to hear this song no more. It's not even coming out no time soon. Like, put the song away. You heard it too much and shit like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it kind of like balances me out, you know? Does that make sense though?
It does make sense.
Yeah.
It does.
Just when you're just tired of this, you get ready to get back to that.
I was about to say, like, even when I go on vacation, like I have this bad thing of like bringing, like I'm saying, like I'm gonna go on vacation because I really don't go on vacation at all, right?
Man.
So if I but I have a family, so you know, me and my family
keep the family happy.
Gotta keep the family happy. So we go on vacation, and I just bring my laptop. Like, yo, I'm either gonna make some beats, I'm gonna record something. Like I'm gonna do something, but I end up doing nothing, right? But I still bring it just because, like you said, you miss it. Like you miss it. Listen. So if I miss it, I want to be right next to it. I don't want to have to go look for it. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? So if I got that feeling like, yo, I just had a lit night, like I need to talk about this. You know what I'm saying? Like I can just go create a vibe real quick.
Absolutely. It's funny because you just brought up vacation. So I don't go on too many vacations. It might seem, people be like, bro, you live a life, you on vacation. It's just like sometimes I end up
I'm
working. Yeah, sometimes I end up in locations, it looks like it's a vacation, but I'm working.
Right.
You know, but anyway, I did go, I went on an 8-day cruise for New Year's.
How was that?
It was awesome. But here's the thing. It goes right back to what we were just speaking about. It was 8 days long.
Right.
By the 5th or 6th day, I was already dying to get off. Like, I wanted to get back to my music and my cards.
And your phone, because you ain't have no service.
No, I had service.
Oh, you had service out there?
I actually was on Virgin Cruise. They shit's fire. Like,
that's dope.
They had actually fast internet. I had my laptop and I was still working and doing things like that. But it's just like, you know, like after the 5th or 6th day, I was just ready to get back to work in both aspects, for the eBay store, for my music and shit like that. And it's just like, when you know you got shit to do and shit like that, like, and you're not doing it, it's just kind of like I don't know, it's like I got to get it a weight off my shoulders and get right back to work. You know what I'm saying?
You need that work-life balance.
You need that work-life balance, you know what I'm saying? But like you said, you got to have a vacation every now and then to kind of reset. But after the 6th day, I was ready to come back. Oh, don't get me wrong, Teezy, the first 5 days, I didn't even want to look at my phone. But after like that 5th day, it was almost in me like, I got to get back to work. I got to get back to work.
That's dope.
Got to stay working.
Do you have like a self-care routine, like, you know what I'm saying, or a regimen?
I'm going to be honest with you, no.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, as far as like just starting my day?
Yeah,
like,
just like start like
bro,
I don't know, because the reason why I asked that a few times in a few interviews, and everybody said something different. Like, I got kids. Let me just put it from in my perspective.
My son's 21, so
right.
I had that regimen.
Right.
My son's older now.
Your son's older now.
Yeah.
Like, cause I got kids. You know, not even having kids, like just having a lot going on.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, when you have a lot going on, you need at least like a few hours out your day that's complete silence.
Yeah.
So it's like that's a part of my routine.
So here's the thing, like, I had a dog, like, man, he was awesome. Like, I love dogs, you know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
But he actually passed away like 2 years ago. But my point is, like, when he was here before he passed away, I did have a regimen. I was trying to think, like, damn, what was my regimen? But my regimen was waking up with the dog. We would walk like a mile and a half. I just kind of like reset and whatnot.
There you go.
I wouldn't listen to no music. It's funny, we spoke about podcasts. I would go listen to like a little podcast, just audio, no music, no nothing like that. Walk around with the dog, come back to the house, check emails, make myself a little breakfast, get the day started. And it was like that for many years until like I had to put my dog down. But I guess, you know, that was my regimen, you know. But like I said, I have a 21-year-old now, so like it's different. Like, I did have the regimen, bringing my school to son, bring my son to school, bring my son to school, taking him on and off the bus.
Right.
And then when at one point we lived close to the school, having to bring him every day to school and things like that. So, but as he gets older, of course, like that, you know, your regimen's changed to where now my son's in college right now. I don't have my dog anymore, so I just kind of find myself just waking up and just going straight to the emails.
Congratulations to you for, you know what I'm saying, getting your son to college.
Man, thank you. Absolutely. Like, I mean, man, it's a big part. His mother, too. He has a great mother, too.
Of course.
Both of us, you know, but yeah.
It takes two. Yeah. It takes two.
And here's the thing, man. My son's 21. I just moved to Vegas 4 years. I'm originally from the Bronx and then moved to Connecticut, like I said. I was in Connecticut my whole life until I finally moved to Vegas in 2020. I can't just up and move.
What rappers came out of Connecticut?
Not really much, man. Actually, we got an artist coming. It's more like it's not like a trap what I do and whatnot. But his name is Chris Webby. Actually, really dope out there.
That's dope.
My little brother, not little, but he's 10 years younger than me. He actually does security for him. They actually got a show out here in April that I'm gonna go pop through.
Okay,
maybe I'll bring you through. We can go check them out.
Yeah, let's check them out.
It's dope though. It's super fire.
Yeah, and I meant to say that because, you know, I didn't mean to say that in a bad way. Because everybody be repping their city. You know what I'm
absolutely
saying? So
not.
like,
when you hear Connecticut, you don't think of rap. You know?
Right. You know, but I do want to know what's like. It's hoods everywhere.
Oh,
you feel
man,
me?
No, it's Connecticut got the hoods.
Right, you feel me? It's
Bridgeport.
It's
like,
dope talent.
Man.
It's dope talent everywhere.
Yeah, here's the thing: we have dope ass artists that come out of there, but. Man, I don't know what it is, man. You know, some of these guys, they don't want to take it serious and want to do this for a living. There's been like a handful of artists that have potential or whatnot that just didn't, you know, they didn't want to kick it into the next level. I can't help you more than you want to help yourself.
Bro, that
you know what I'm
ain't
saying?
That the truth.
I can only try to do so much, you know what I'm saying?
Ain't that the truth?
And so forth. But like I said, Connecticut, like I was on the border. I was only 50 miles from New York City in the Bronx to where everybody, you know, Yonkers was 40 miles up the road. We had one of my favorite groups ever. D-Block was right there.
Right.
Jadakiss, Style, Chic, and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
That's one of your favorite artists?
One of my favorite groups. I mean, and I feel like Jadakiss is top 5 dead or alive for sure.
Facts.
He said that. That's no lie.
That verses was crazy.
That's no lie.
I still
Listen, that was school. Listen, that was school. That was art right there.
That was
a lot of people like it for what it's like, but you know, like most of the people, if you really ask them what stands out the D Block, they can't even answer it.
Right.
The answer to that is they was rapping with no fucking beats behind them.
Right.
They was rapping every single word. Like art, you know, nowadays artists perform. Right. They got the whole song and the words and stuff behind there. Kiss Styles and Jadakiss, they didn't miss one fucking syllable.
Right. They
didn't miss a syllable, bro.
I think that's the best show though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just the artist and the beat. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, that verse is classic.
Yeah, that verse was classic.
Classic. Man. I really, man. Classic. I mean, Jadakiss and those boys get like better as they get older. Like you still hear Kiss and shit in his freestyles. You're like jaw dropping, you know.
Right.
But my point is, a lot of artists obviously came out of New York. Not too many out of Connecticut, but just that tri-state area, man. It's just it's bred so many artists.
Who got the game right now? You know what I'm saying? Because Kendrick won Grammys. You know what I'm saying? New York had it. You know what I'm saying? All the Atlanta artists, they come. You know, all the Atlanta artists back. Yeah, they coming back. You feel me? So
I feel like it kind of like
we ain't never left.
Like the West Coast. Hey,
we always on top.
So like I feel like the West Coast, man. As they should, obviously they're fucking with Kendrick. They're kind of like in their own world, although obviously they support hip hop in general.
Right.
But they have the ability to rep their own because he's just the hottest. It just so happens Kendrick's from LA.
Right.
Now, whether he was from Texas or somewhere else, who knows? I don't know. I just know I live in Vegas. Kendrick's huge out there right now.
Right.
I go to the East Coast right now, New York. I mean, look at Jim Jones. He's out there popping right now.
That's hard.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's crazy.
Bro, Jones is going up.
Bro,
I feel like he's making some of his best music right now.
That's crazy.
Shout out to Jim Jones. Like, he just dropped 2 joints crazy.
Music never dies.
It never dies.
It never dies.
Never dies, bro. So I feel like it just kind of like regionally, but like me, I'm a fan of all music, man, and I kind of have to be. You know, I got to be a master at my craft. Yeah. I can't just stay in one area. Just because I live in Vegas, I can't just listen to Kendrick all day. You know, I'm listening to everybody.
Do you think like it's a certain age limit to like dropping music?
No.
Like let's just say hip hop, because I know in other genres, like other people, like it's like for Charlie Wilson.
No, I don't.
You know what I'm saying? No.
You think new music in general? What? Listen, Sugar Free. He's he's pop. He's OG.
Right.
He's 50-something right now, selling out shows everywhere.
That's crazy.
That age don't matter.
It don't matter.
Man, what's your swag?
Right.
What's your aura?
So
what's
like
your catalog? Age.
So like a new 53-year-old artist.
A new 50, that's a little bit different because you're starting now, though.
Right.
You know, this is like, once again, I love wrestling, right?
Right.
You can't go be a 53-year-old wrestler starting off, right?
Right.
It's going to be a little bit different than John Cena when he started at 21 or whatever.
Right.
John Cena, as great as he is, if he walked in WWE at 53, it ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? So, but look, there is still, guys. Undertaker, he's fucking old. He's still one of the biggest draws in wrestling. I feel like the age is not a matter, but it's hard to start at a later age. You know, I mean, look at E40. He's not very young. He's so popping out there on the West Coast and shit. Right. And these guys are still making big money on shows or whatnot, and I just feel like, who are you? Not the age, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
For music, at least, unless this is basketball and shit, and you can't be 53-year-old out there now on the NBA court.
Nah, that's a fact.
But you could be a 53-year-old rapper. I mean, not a new one.
Not a new one. But you could still be a 53-year-old rapper.
I feel so. I mean, listen, yeah, for sure. Look at how old is Dre? Come on, what were we going to say?
I
get it. He doesn't drop music frequently.
He's a legend, though.
He's a legend.
Right. I'm just saying, like...
Look at Snoop. Look at Uncle Snoop. He's all over everywhere. He's fucking hosting the Olympics and all of this, and he's got to be 50-something.
I think TikTok made it, you know what I'm saying, like, accessible for all type of artists of all ages.
I know TikTok is gigantic. I'm an Instagram guy.
Right,
But I know TikTok is huge.
The one of the most important things about TikToks, it puts you in the algorithm that you need to be in. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So I'm gonna have to get a TikTok and go upload that. Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Oh yeah, you can probably.
It's probably out there. Somebody probably did it already.
It's probably already out there. Just do the hashtag. You know what I'm saying? But what's good about TikTok, like if you're a fisherman, right? Okay. And you put fishing videos or whatever, right? And then hashtag fishing videos, it will send you to the fishing algorithm.
That's awesome. Okay, yeah. Oh no, I know it's monumental.
So you get like-minded people like that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm old school, Teezy. I mean, I'm 41, man. Like, it's not really old. I'm old school.
Old school, right.
I'm still stuck in the days, man. Like, bro, I'm still stuck in like live mixtape days and shit.
Right.
As crazy as that sounds, you know.
Yo,
I'm just not all used to all this fucking all these social media.
I know we speaking on like live mixtapes and all that earlier. But appreciate live mixtapes for most definitely bringing back all my mixtapes, all of our mixtapes as a culture.
Bro.
You get what I'm saying? So we can really listen to all our old shit.
Listen, there's only one place in this world that you can go find my entire catalog right now.
Live mix.
And it's live mixtapes.
I already know, man. Shout out to Pesh.
Yeah, shout out to Pesh and Daniel. They I'm still stuck in that era back in 2010 when I was, it was a high sending them a tape.
Right.
That shit was like a rush that you can't fulfill that rush in anywhere else. Having a brand new exclusive mixtape, nobody in the world has these songs except me. Now I'm going to present them to the world through this mixtape website.
Right.
That shit was a high, bro.
All right, so before we get out of here, right? I want to tap on one thing before we get out of here. Let's talk about Pawn Stars.
Oh, man, damn.
All right. because it's like, you know what I'm saying, Superman and Clark Kent, right? So from my understanding, right? So, you know, for everybody, what we know you as is Trap.
Yeah.
But on Pawn Stars, your name is...
Damn right, Santos.
Santos.
And listen, that's me, you know? That's me.
Right. So
that's, you know, listen, I mean, Trap, what you see is what you get.
Right. That's
I
hard.
am Trap, but also I do have another, you know,
right.
I'm
So
human, man.
Y'all can go
like,
see Santos on
music
Pawn
isn't my
Stars.
life, y'all. Music is not my life. Although it seems like it, there is a lot of other stuff going on. But yeah, Pawn
So
Stars.
how did you get into Pawn Stars?
Yeah, so man, long story short, man, shout out to my brother Chum. Like Chum Lee, he's on the show and whatnot. That's my bro. We've been locked in for a long time. Long story short, back in 2011, he was matter of fact, I mentioned his name earlier, Yada. He's from Vegas.
Right.
Chum was working with him, helping him out in the music world and stuff like that.
Right.
Me and Chum had hooked up through social media, which is funny because I'm over here talking shit. I hate social media, and here I am making connections and shit.
Right.
This is 2011 though. We actually like linked up on Twitter or whatnot. Long story short, I went to Vegas. We linked up in person. Had a dope ass bond, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But initially, we started linking up through Yada. I started hosting his mixtapes, started getting beats or whatnot, and giving them to him and whatnot. Just doing music with Yada.
For the ones who never watched Pawn Stars, Chum is also a person on the show.
It's Rick Harrison and Chum Lee, and then we also got Corey. Yes,
that's hard.
Yeah, Chum actually kind of like. I mean, Rick is the top dog. That's his show. But my boy Chum actually like emerged to be kind of like the up and comer to where like he's just a family friendly. Like he loves them. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen 90-year-olds come up to him all the way, 4-year-olds all the way to 90-year-olds. Everybody knows them. You know what I'm saying?
That's hard.
But back to it. So we linked up through a mutual artist or whatnot back in 2011 and really just like kept our friendship, man. I was coming out to Vegas a lot, traveling back and forth to Connecticut, to New York. Then, like I said, I actually, fast forward to 2020, I moved to Vegas.
Right.
And I was always around the set, you know what I'm saying? Like they were familiar with me from the director to the producer, to Rick, who's, the star of the show. So they always knew me. I was always just quiet, just minding my business and stuff like that. And it just kind of seemed like the relationship that me and Chum had. Obviously, I wasn't on the show, so it was like an off-screen like relationship that they noticed that they kind of felt like could be good on camera. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think at one point back in like 2019, 2020, the show basically said, "Hey, let's give Santos or Trap a try." We're gonna call him Santos, though, his name.
Right.
Give it like a little bit of flavor. You know what I'm saying? There's only three people on the show. Really, let's maybe add a fourth and put a little bit of extra flavor in there. So we did one episode, went well. I think one turned into two. Two episodes probably turned into four. I think we might have ended up doing like between 6 and 8, maybe.
Right.
That was season 21, and then
so actually, y'all go watch season 21.
Yeah, go watch season 21. Starting episode 7 or 8. Whatever the episode is called, Rick's Side Rebellion. That's the episode that I premiere in, and they actually introduced me as a new person on the show. And then also the new season just started 3 weeks ago of this month. I'm actually on this season also. I just don't know exactly what episodes just yet.
Well, I told you I'm binge watching it. Anyway,
oh man, okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Go check it out, man. Let me know what you think. Yeah,
nah, for sure.
And man, it was just something that kind of just happened naturally, and it was really good on screen. And they felt that I was like kind of like. I was not good on screen. I was comfortable, I think, on screen.
Just like a natural.
You know, some of them know, like, I do music, and I've been doing music for a while, and I think, obviously, my music kind of helped me get over that, you know?
Right.
Being in front of the camera, which millions of people might be watching this show, doesn't have this much of a nerve in me than DJing a club with a couple thousand people in it. And really, like, that's how I kind of always, like, man, like, I'm quiet, man. I'm a quiet person. I had to like learn how to go DJ shows in front of people and learn how to be interactive and learn how to talk shit on the mic, pop my shit. And I mean, at some of my beginning of the year, I was terrified to death to go DJ. You know what I'm saying? I had to work that and get that out of me. You know what I mean? So by the time I got to Pawn Stars, I feel like that really helped me out.
That's dope.
And a lot of the Pawn Star shit was just so easy. Going back and forth, talking shit with Chum, going back and forth, talking shit with Rick.
That's
hard. You
hard.
know what I'm saying? And just kind of taking it as it is. But Pawn Stars is a really big show. You know, it's funny because I was a fan of the show myself, and then here I am, you know, 2005 or 25 on some of the episodes and
Manifestation.
shit. Yeah, manifestation, right? Which is crazy because I never even had that in my mind to be on the show.
Right.
It was never like, oh, let me get on this shit and like.
But you just liked you just liked the show. You knew it was a vibe. You know what I'm saying?
And then you know, like I was out there a lot. I would just always be on set and shit. Like Chum was my best friend, so if we had some shit to do before he had to go on set, I'd be with him. Or if he had something to do right after, I'd be with him. So I'd just go on set with him and just see many shows get made. And just to be a fly on the wall is cool because that's just something that nobody gets to see. Like, that's a show in itself.
Right.
I wish I could make a show about making the show.
So you hear that, directors? Hit them up. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get this money.
Listen,
you
that's
feel
the
me?
show was really behind the scenes. You know? So being able to be a fly on the wall and see how something like gets made and produced and directed and shit like that with, you know, real budget. This History Channel.
Right.
History Channel's owned by Disney.
Right.
It don't get no more serious than that.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So that's an awesome experience to be able to be behind the camera, like watching, and now in front of the camera.
Right, that's dope.
So that's super fire. We'll see what happens, you know.
And congratulations to that, my brother.
I appreciate
you feel me?
it,
A lot of people don't get those type of, you know, experiences, you know what I'm saying?
You know what? And then here's some breaking news. I mean, I never said this before. I can't say too much as far as name titles and stuff like that, but now that opened a door to where I just got some information to where I have a podcast coming down the line.
Ding, 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 ding,
you
ding,
feel
ding, ding, ding,
Come
ding.
on.
You feel me?
Come on.
That's hard.
You know
That's
what?
hard.
I don't even know the name. So even if I could sit here and be like, you know what, I can't give too much information. There's not too much information to give anyway.
That's
the only
dope.
information I do know is that I got contacted for a podcast that should be coming down the pipeline real soon. I don't know the name yet. I don't know where none of that yet.
You don't have
I don't
to.
know the theme yet, bro.
You feel me? You don't have to. And we always, as your fans, we always supporting you.
Yeah, so
you feel me?
I don't do many interviews, but first off, you family. And second off, it was like, man, I had that in the back of my mind. It's like, you know what? If I'm possibly going to be doing a podcast, I need to start doing things like this.
Nah, for real.
This is going to,
you know, seriously.
I don't know if you call it practice, but it's exercise.
It's exercise. It's gaining repetition.
Yeah.
You know
and then if I do the podcast, I'm going to be reversed. I'm not going to be the guest. I'm going to be the host.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing.
Right.
So,
that's hard.
I mean? So yeah, man, that's some news out there. So yeah, when you say what else are you doing besides music, man, besides my eBay store, man, the opportunity on Pawn Stars that I was given, this opportunity that's coming down the pipeline that's looking like a podcast, man, I'm very busy and
that's hard.
I can't complain. I'm blessed.
That's hard.
I'm a father.
That's hard.
I got a great son.
Right.
You
That's
know
hard.
what I'm saying? I can't complain. Life is really good.
Life is good, man.
You know, and I know there's some haters out there, shit like that. Nobody wants to see the next man do better than that.
Hey,
Whatever
man,
the case
haters,
is,
man. We need haters.
We need the haters.
We
you know
need
what I'm
the
saying?
haters,
So,
man.
hey, for all the haters out there, no, I'm doing great. So,
for all the haters, we appreciate y'all.
If you're praying on my downfall, wishing on my downfall, I'm just going up, man. You feel me?
That's hard, Trap. Well, listen, Trap.
Man.
I really appreciate you, man. I know we gave you your flowers, but at the end of my shows, I like to personally give you your flowers, bro, because you know what I'm saying? Like, you've been a legend in the game, been doing your thing for a long time. You feel me? And like you still keep that like humbleness and that humble spirit. You know what I'm saying? You still.
That's just me though.
Right.
People be like, Trap, you too humble. I be like, I don't even know how to. That's me.
Hard,
like, I don't know how to
That's
be anything.
hard. That's a great attribute. You know what I'm saying? So like, I most definitely appreciate you coming through.
Absolutely.
Teezy for the people.
It's funny you say that, though. I seen Holiday earlier, DJ Holiday. Shout out to the bro.
Shout out to
Holiday. He pulled me to the side and he was like, Trap, fucking DJ, you DJ Trap-a-holics. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, sometimes I got to get snapped out of it and shit like that, you know?
Yeah, I mean.
Life happens so fast, you know what I'm saying? I was dropping these mixtapes so fast, Teezy, that I never really got the chance to sit back and really, like, have that long vision, like, man, look at this lane that I've created and stuff like that.
And then you human, you know?
And I'm human, you know? So when I hear things like, hey, Trap, man, we giving you your flowers, I hear that a lot from people nowadays, and I promise you, I take it all in stride, and I appreciate everybody telling me that. But when I hear that from you, though, it hits different, and I can't tell you how grateful I am because you were there from day zero.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So like you seen like how I came up. You seen like just the growth.
I was a part of your journey as well.
You was a part of the journey,
LeBron,
bro.
Flocka, Jane,
Come on.
You feel me? Civil War.
Civil War. You was on
crazy.
a handful of my tapes,
nah,
bro.
Facts,
you were there for the come up. So when I hear that from somebody like you, it means a lot, man. It really does.
Well, I appreciate you, Trap, man. You know what I'm saying? We here to support each other. Y'all make sure y'all support Trap-a-holics. You know what I'm saying? Thank you to Triple Beam Studios.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For most definitely giving up to the space. So listen, if you need some studio time or anything like that, honestly, if you just need somebody to work with exclusive, a whole team, y'all make sure y'all holler at Triple Beam.
Yes, sir. I mean? Listen, man, it's Trap-a-holics, man. It's Sean Teezy, man.
For the people.
Teezy for the people, man.
Shout out my dog G.
Come on,
you
G.
Know what I'm saying?
D-Dot. Let's go, man. we in Triple Beam Studio out here, man. We making it happen, man. DJ Trap-a-holics, we checking out. Let's go.
Just like that. Bow.